The fact is, healthcare outcomes in the United States are still pretty good when you remove all of the confounding factors. In fact, if you take away car accident deaths and homicide and suicide from the national statistics, what you end up with is the United States is one of the top countries on earth in terms of life expectancy. So, Joe Biden is not wrong on any.
Okay, here is intellectual giant Ben Shapiro defending Joe Biden's really dumb statements that he made against Bernie Sanders on the third Democratic debates the other night. Here, I'm going to show you what the statements were real quick.
Be clear, Joe. In the United States of America, we are spending twice as much per capita on health care as the Canadians or any other major country on earth.
It's America.
Yeah, but Americans don't want to pay twice as much as other countries.
So that is like the weakest rebuttal that you could have ever made when Bernie Sanders is talking about Canadian healthcare and how Canadian healthcare leads to better outcomes. Wow, Fish is freaking out about it too. Okay, chill, buddy. All right, calm down. Calm down. Anyway, so he's talking about Canadian healthcare having better quality care for less money on average. And Joe Biden's rebuttal is, this is America. And Ben Shapiro, predictably, of course, turns around and defends that statement because he's Ben Shapiro. Now, that should be interesting for those of you Biden fans or anyone who's even questioning voting for Biden. Like, he's the kind of guy that Ben Shapiro is defending here. But I'm also more focused on what Ben Shapiro said, right, when he was trying to defend Joe Biden here, because a lot of people regard him as an intellectual giant. So let's run back exactly what Ben Shapiro said. He said, American healthcare outcomes are actually really good as long as you take away.
In fact, healthcare outcomes in the United States are still pretty good when you remove all of the confounding factors. In fact, if you take away car accident deaths and homicide and suicide from the national statistics, what you end up with is the United States is one of the top countries on earth in terms of life expectancy.
Yeah, as long as you take out all the deaths, like, we're good. For example, if I take out all of the if I take out all the deaths completely, our life expectancy in America goes to infinity, therefore making America the greatest country on earth and defeating every other country in the world. Now, I'm going to be as charitable as possible here, okay, and say that he's trying to isolate pure healthcare outcomes without confounding factors like car crashes or gun deaths, regardless of the reality that Ben Shapiro will purposely avoid coming up with any solutions to gun deaths, for example. He won't admit that it's like a uniquely American problem. But how are we just eliminating suicides from the equation? Suicides are absolutely a part of mental health treatment. Like, you can't just take out suicides from the equation just because the American suicide rate is terrifying, and it's been on a steep incline since 1999. It's clearly connected to America's gun crisis as well, by the way. But, let's just remove the gun stuff, right? So is Ben Shapiro right if you isolate pure healthcare results? Turns out, no, he's not. Because there is empirical evidence, shocker, by the way, there is empirical evidence that disproves what Ben Shapiro is claiming, even with the metric, the standard that he's trying to present. There's a Lancet study that isolates diseases. And even then, the United States, and this might shock you, the United States ranks 29th in their healthcare access and quality. Okay? 29th among all of these nations that they looked at in the world, according to this Lancet study. So Ben Shapiro is not even right in the isolated hypothetical that he's trying to present to you. So once again, I just want to ask you guys, why do you think this person is intelligent? Seriously. I mean, he's just lying to you all the time. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Hasan Piker, and this has been The Breakdown.